You're here with BKB, with the Bare Knuckle Boxing. Just want you to talk a little bit about your role with BKB and just how it's progressed and how it started and just a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we're here with BKB. We have a fight in Leeds this weekend, huge fight, and we're becoming over every other month now that we've acquired the company here in England. And the fans in England are wild. First of all, went to my first bare knuckle fight in England last October in Leeds. The fans are top tier, crazy, singing, drunk. Really 10 out of 10 fans. My role with the company, I do backstage interviews, in-ring interviews. I do a lot of social media for them, and it works out. Coming with my WWE background and background in combat sports, my fans love it, and it's been fun getting to know the game.
So just talk us a little bit through your sort of journey into sports media and sort of how you started off in the WWE. Like, what were some of the highlights of your WWE journey?
Oh my gosh. So I was with WWE for 6 years, which is a good solid run. And I've been gone a little bit, went back 3 years ago for the Royal Rumble. They did not have an all-women's Royal Rumble when I was growing up. And it was my dream. It was everything I wanted to do. We were on the road, a good 300 days a year. It's completely nonstop, but when it's what you've wanted to do, it doesn't feel like work. And I'm still very good friends with a lot of the girls and a lot of the guys in WWE, and I still watch it avidly. I'm such a big fan, and it's just a part of me. It always will be, and I get the itch to go back all the time.
So obviously what you're very well known for in WWE was your link up with Fandango. Can you talk us through a little bit how that was and how it was perceived in the UK and in the US?
Yeah, so Fandango and I were very successful over here in England. I don't know if it was the dress, the outfit, the look, the music. The fans would just sing it when we came over here, but it was pretty crazy. There was one point where we had a live event in Cardiff, and we were doing Monday Night Raw at the O2, and WWE put us in a helicopter with the Shield, and the Shield got out of the helicopter. Then me and Fandango got out of the helicopter, and it really was top tier times for us back then. And I remember my debut was at the O2 Center, the O2 Arena, with Chris Jericho. And I debuted with Fandango. Jericho pulled me away, and the O2 just went absolutely nuts.
So obviously you mentioned Chris Jericho and there's Fandango. Who else in WWE sort of did you enjoy working with, and like other memories that you had, if you could share them with us?
For sure. So I was very close with Paige Saraya. She's from Norwich. She taught me how to say Norwich, like porridge, not Norwich. And she comes from a long history of British wrestlers with her family. They had the movie Fighting with her family. We were very, very close. She taught me a lot at the beginning, and I taught her a lot too about how to not, punch everyone in the face in the girls' locker room, and how to swallow her pride a bit to get far in WWE. So it was a give and a take. Loved working with Natalya, of course. We had a big rivalry with Total Divas, and though she is Bret Hart's niece, she says to this day people talk about me in the slap, heard around the world. So that's fun. Still friends with Sasha, Mercedes. She's been killing it. So Naomi, of course, the list goes on. I love The Big Show. The Big Show is just amazing. He took me under his wing when I first started. He gave me his finisher. So my finisher is his old finisher, and he's absolutely lovely.
Can I just ask, sort of, from the WWE to bare knuckle boxing?
Yes.
It's quite different.
Yes.
Bare knuckle boxing is quite violent. Mm-hmm. What would you say to people who feel like, especially sometimes some guys get a bit squeamish about whether it's females fighting, especially in such a violent sport?
Sure. How
you sort of have taken that on board, and how your understanding of bare knuckle boxing is?
Sure. Yeah, it's very different, but there are a lot of similarities. A lot of the guys in bare knuckle are huge WWE fans. So when they find out what I did, it's interesting. They always come up to me and they're like, I don't know how you did it every single week, like 5 days a week fighting. And though it's not punch you in the face with bare knuckles, and it is scripted, it is very real, and injuries are very real, and the wear and tear. So it's interesting hearing boxers say that to me, like, I don't know how you did it 300 days a year. You know, I only have a certain amount of fights a year. But it's great. I will say, though it is violent, if you look down at your paper and you blink, you miss a knockout with bare knuckle. You know, the Trigon that we have for BKB is a very high knockout rate. I believe it's 91% knockout rate. So when you get in there, it's very small. It's a triangle. You cannot escape your opponent, especially if you're a heavyweight, super heavyweight. So though it's bloody and though it's gruesome, it's also happens really fast, and you almost don't know unless the fight goes the distance, which for the women, like you said, it's just brutal seeing their faces afterwards. But I'm definitely desensitized to it now.
If you wanted to have sort of a message of how women get into sports media, and sort of if they wanted to get into sort of bare knuckle and whether it's competing, what would be your sort of advice and how things they may or they should be doing?
Yeah, I mean, women in sports has to be passion-based, I think. You know, first and foremost, there's so many things we can do as women, and especially, you know, being able to have a family and take time away from your kids. A lot of our fighters do have small kids, you know, teenagers. They also have other careers, and I don't know how they juggle it all. I have a lot of the male fighters say that they're wives are stay-at-home mothers and they would rather box than stay at home with their bratty kids all day, one guy just said. So you definitely have to have passion when you want to do something like this and be on the road and be training all the time and give up your holidays and, you know, Christmas roast, Sunday roasts at the pub and eat right. You have to have that passion and something that drives you. A lot of guys and girls in boxing have their parents have driven them, you know, maybe their brother, you know, that is sick, or their kids. So having that passion drives you. And then as far as sports media goes, I think social media is so amazing. Whether you have a lot of followers or not, finding your niche and doing it every day, getting on TikTok. If you have 5 followers on TikTok, 50 followers, put a video out every single day explaining something, have a catchphrase, and have that consistency. And after a while, even if you build a fan base of 5,000 people, if 5,000 people buy your t-shirt you're selling, that's amazing money. I have 1.6 million followers, but really I may only have 5,000 people that buy something I put out. So who's to say just because you have a following, there may not be that turnaround? And so, you know, if you have the passion and it is your purpose and your path, you will be successful.
Okay, I've got 3 more for you.
Okay.
So one of our pundits in the UK obviously works closely with you on the BKB, Gareth Davies.
Yes.
I just want you to explain what it's like working with him, and how it's been being introduced as sort of the talkSPORT team working across the BKB.
Yeah, so I have only had the pleasure of meeting Gareth twice now. One time he came over to America, and then when we were in Leeds last time. And though he is flamboyant, and though he is very loud in his characteristics and his ways, he is really great on commentary. I really enjoyed having my IFB and listening to him. He really breaks down the basics. A lot of new eyes are coming on bare knuckle right now as we grow, and just a lot of new people to boxing, are people wondering, you know what? I always wanted to know that question. And Gareth does a really great job of breaking that down, and I very much enjoy his commentary. His outfits, not so much.
I think we can all agree on that.
I'm just kidding.
Look, he loves his outfits, and that's all that matters. There's been quite an explosion in BKB of some former fighters going in who've been at quite a high level. So recently there's been sort of Conor McGregor on a scale, there's been James DeGale on another bare knuckle promotion, and then there's been on this promotion Lucas Brown, and then there's been obviously this weekend there's Paulie coming up. Do you think we could maybe eventually have an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury, maybe when they finish, go into bare knuckle boxing? Do you think this is a route that boxers are going to take?
It's interesting. We get a lot of UFC guys. We get a lot of MMA guys that are sick of going to the floor, that just want to stand and box. And we get a lot of boxers that come to Bare Knuckle and BKB specifically because they say, I'm just sick of it being political. I just want to fight. And what's fair? And I think the thing that I love about BKB is our matchmaker, Mel, our bosses, our CEO, COO, that they do try to take the politics out of it, and they do see what are the fair matchups, who's earned it, who has knocked off a certain amount of people. And that's what I'm hearing from a lot of boxers that do come over to Bare Knuckle and come over to us. And then also the crowds, they love the crowds, they love the Trigon. It's so different. So yeah, like why not? I could see some of those guys coming over. Whether they do well or not, I'm not sure. I worked for Tyson Fury 3 years ago in Cardiff at a wrestling convention, and he was absolutely lovely. His wife Paris, his kids were running around, and he was captivating. Like, he definitely is a character, and when you turn on the screen, he commands attention just from being himself. Like, he's not acting. They say in wrestling with WWE, some of the most successful characters are you not acting. It's an extension of yourself. And you see that with him and some of the other guys that are very big names with Connor. So why not? Let's see.
So is there any current boxers or UFC stars that you think maybe could cross over to bare knuckle boxing?
Ooh, good question. I mean, whether or not she would want to, who I would love to see coming over to Bare Knuckle is Amanda Serrano. I was there when she fought in Texas. Incredible athlete, incredible female in sports, but then also her fight just now at Madison Square Garden. She is just such a force to be reckoned with. She's a total package as far as athleticism, in-ring, looks, how she speaks, her pride for her nationality. It's just, it's amazing, and I would love to selfishly see her in Bare Knuckle.
So, just to finish up, if you're not really sure what bare knuckle boxing is, you haven't really seen it on talkSPORT yet, but you might be a little bit intrigued. Tell us a little bit about what you can expect and why you should be interested in it.
Sure. BKB Bare Knuckle is our Instagram handle. We have some of the best clips that you can check out there. We are in a trigon that is a triangle, and it is the smallest squared space in combat sports. It has the largest knockout rate. No gloves. You only have your wraps on. We allow dirty boxing. It is a quick experience usually. First round knockouts, if not second. Sometimes the girls take it the full length, and it is hard-hitting, exciting, electric, and it's a fun night out.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.